right, North End Floyd, what's going on, my brother?
What's good? What's good? What's good, man?
Chilling, man. Well, I wanna have a couple of questions for you today. Let's go back to the beginning. Do you remember what is your fondest memories about growing up in the North End of Beaumont?
Oh man, oh man, for real though. Like, everybody got their own story, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how you grew up and how you was raised and stuff like that. But for me, like, you know what I'm saying? My childhood was fun, man. Like we played baseball, shit. We played soccer. We played sports. We was out the. But in the fifth grade is when I kind of got introduced to like the hood, when I started seeing shit like as far as the hood, when I started getting like you could say a street smart, if you could say, that opened my eyes as far as like gangs and drugs and all that type of stuff. But man, my experience in the North End, man, was a good experience, man. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't take it for nothing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and just because I'm a Pale Orchard resident through and through, but I lived all over Beaumont, and I also lived in the North End. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. Like
Hmm.
I had so much fun. It should have been illegal. How much fun I had.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah. You always tell me that, man. That you had a good time out there.
Yeah,
Shit.
because it was, growing up, it was that division between sides of town based off colors.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
then at the time when I moved, it was probably about, I say 2010. By that time,
Hmm.
that wasn't a factor
Yeah, for
anymore.
sure. Yeah,
So it was like cool, and you could go to a club, and
yeah.
the club would be occupied with South Side residents and North Side residents.
Hmm.
So and nobody would be tripping. And then
Yeah.
when I moved there, it was very cool. I had a partner named Doug, God bless his soul. He
Hmm.
was around there, and he kind of did some stuff I didn't ask him to do, but he kind of just took me around to all his people and was like, "Hey, you see him? He cool. He from the other side, but he live over here.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
see him? He cool. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He probably just looking for some green and that's it.
For sure.
But that
No
was
doubt.
that was a great time for me living over there. I learned a lot, and I also I grew a respect for people on in the North End because of the way they operate.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I seen it from just an observant standpoint. I was
Yeah.
out there and I was like, oh, they hustle together. When
Hmm.
one of them get a slab, they help out for the next one to get a slab.
Hmm.
When one of them go to jail, they all pull together and get their homeboy out of jail.
Hmm. Or you get his phone, or he give you his phone to hustle off of.
Right.
That was the thing right there. Your partner get locked up. Shit, take his phone, man. You hit licks on his phone. You put money on his books and stuff like that. That's how we was growing up, man. That's how we was raised, for
I
sure.
admired the way y'all got down and wish that,
Yep.
other sides of town would do the same. But
Yeah, for sure. It didn't matter if you was from Magnolia, Helbig, Gladys, CDS, or whatever. If you in the club and you fighting or whatever, and they from, it's like, you know what I'm saying. And really, how we stuck together. That's really how Black people should be, as far as like a unity as a whole. Like if we in some trouble or anything happen, we should all pull in to help each other. Not to get off topic, but
it's
that's
real.
that's just how it was, man. If you're in the North, especially if you go into them clubs, because most of the clubs was in y'all neighborhood, Sig, Mr. G's, all that. So you going out there, so you already got a sense like, look, if we scrap, you better fight, or you ain't finna, or it's gonna be some trouble when you get home, or you ain't gonna catch that ride. And when you do walk and you do get home, then you got to deal with something when you get there too, for sure. You got to deal with the hood, so you better jump in there, get knocked out, do whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
remember those days.
yeah,
man.
for sure, that was some good times, man.
Yeah, great times.
The music was great back then.
Hell yeah. The women were great back then.
Man.
They were not expensive.
Dude,
You know
y'all,
what I'm
to me, I'm not trying to disrespect my wife, but y'all had the baddest females. I was always out here messing with. I was always out here messing with y'all feet. Norris Street, off of Houston, I was all just kind of maneuvering all through that.
And I guess I didn't feel like that because we went to school.
Yeah,
and
for
grew up
sure.
with
You know how it is when you don't see them.
we always looked at West End.
Yeah,
North
End. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's I can agree with that one.
For sure.
I want to ask you, how did you get into podcast?
Man, I got into podcasting because a lot of people tend to side with the same answers and opinions about things. And I was always left field with it. I always kind of thought different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was always going right. And I would question, why are y'all all going right? Like, why not go left? So I felt that I wanted to get my opinions out. I was the type of person that I really didn't give a damn if they liked it or not. I'm finna express my opinions. And then, I said, let me do a podcast. And this was during the COVID era. This was 2019, 2020. And so I started doing that. And then, I started doing them on Facebook Live, and then that started getting a lot of people attention because a lot of people was at home. It was COVID. They couldn't work. The internet was there. I kind of took advantage of it, and it just went from there. I started talking about different topics, mental health, started having, councilmen, mayors, therapists, all kind of people on the show, just having these type of conversations that our people need to hear. So, it just went from there.
And what made you go into, because I know you said you started off with different topics, but then it went to dating and relationships.
It went, because before I'm not trying to toot my horn, but a lot of people wasn't talking about it then. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wasn't talking about relationships when I jumped on it. And then while I was going through that phase, I noticed that, and I'm not saying I started that trend at all. I'm not trying to say that, but as I was going through, I noticed that a lot of people that were starting podcasts was based on relationships, and it got watered down. So I was like, man, let me go back to, talking about different topics and shit or whatever, because it was watered down. And, a lot of, as far as relationships, like it can get controversial because, and honestly, I believe on whatever works for your relationship, that's what works. You don't have to copy nobody's blueprint because everybody different. So while I was doing these topics, really in the back of my head, it's like, it's to each their own. What I say is how I feel about a relationship. You might think something different. So I was kind of faking the funk, even though we was having some great conversations and stuff. But in the back of my head, it's like, whatever floats they boat. So I eventually got away from that because it's like, damn, everybody doing relationships. So I kind of left it alone. So, man,
Well, to be honest with you, if I can be honest with you, the relationship thing became a topic like during and after COVID. So at the time when you started that, it was like at a right time, at the right now. This is the topic of conversation, and it just so happens to be the theme of your podcast. And then I also saw what you said, the water down, because we are in a city where people are just essentially sitting on the internet, looking, watching, paying attention. And once they see one person do something, then they mimic and copy. Because I've seen it done with me. I've seen it done with you. I've seen it done with a host of other people as well. Yeah. So, but the relationship, because you have such a major audience with that, because just the topic of relationships is going to draw a lot of attention, an audience by itself. Yeah. But then the women, to me, it was very telling because now you get to, just like the internet, I keep saying this, I say thank you for the internet, because through the internet, women have shown us their true nature and their true colors. Yeah. And I thank them for that, because now men that pay attention like myself know how to move.
If you pay attention to the details, then you could pick up on what.
And I picked up on a whole lot watching your show. That's why I would, a lot of times, I would be, watching the show in the comments or whatever, and I'm paying attention and I'm saying, wow.
Yeah, boy. we used to have some conversations after the show. About the comments and the surprise comments from a lot of people. So it's very telling. If you pick up on the details, then you can actually know what kind of woman you was dealing with. So for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was bad because I stepped away. You know what I'm saying, out of the scene years ago because I seen it before
Yeah.
it got so bad. I seen where it was about to go.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? Let me take myself out the line of fire. Sit back here.
Yeah.
And I watch it go from sugar to shit.
Yeah.
You know what
and that's what I said too, man. I said, man, I had to back away because like I said, it was just so watered down. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like it turned me off just hearing the topic. I used to have to tell people we're not talking about no relationships and all that. Y'all leave that for the other platforms and stuff. So it got annoying to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to switch fields. But like you said, to go back, like as far as creativity, it's only so many people, especially where we're from, that are creative. And a lot of people really, you know what I'm saying, they wait for certain people to come up with the idea and then they kind of piggyback off that. Like you said, from what you be doing, what I'm doing, other people, you know, like it's like soon as something pops, then they be like, oh, you seen what such and such? Okay, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to do it like this. But they actually got the idea from me or whatever. So I had a lot of people, man, they, you know, say they'll jump on the show or whatever, and you know, after the show, they ask me a million questions, how I did this, how I did that, how I did this. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't no gatekeeper. I'll answer the question, and the next thing you know, bang, they doing the same thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's what's up. But the messed up thing is, as soon as they do that, then they don't holler at me no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like they'll ghost me. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like it don't be like what's up or what's going on or no liking the post, no comments on the post. It's like, damn, you got the information you needed and bam, you know what I'm saying? That was it. So I mean, it was a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
You know how to get the game crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, I want to ask you about movies because you done got into movies and into the acting space, and you have been in 5 movies?
Yeah, about 5 of them. Yeah, for sure.
What made you want to get into the acting space?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna shout out Terry Wan or Terry. I always call him T. I don't never get his name right, but he did. We did the movie together. We all did the movie together. You know what I'm saying? To jump it off. But shout out to my boy Pop Chino, because man, we was like 21, 22. Man, we was doing. It wasn't movies and stuff, but we was doing like, and it wasn't called skits. It was just like, you know, some little small time, like it was like clips or whatever. It'd be like, you know what I'm saying, us, you know how Bone, when Thuggish Ruggish Bone, when they all coming out the house and they walking down the street and stuff like that. Yeah. We was doing like shit like that, you know what I'm saying, and videos and stuff. And so I kind of got it. That was the feel for it. But Terry on, you know what I'm saying, with the Cutthroat Texas, that's really how I got into it. And he just hit me up. He said, man, you want to, I'm doing a movie. He said, you want to be in it? I say, shit, hell yeah. Well, shit. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, I'm down with it. So, you know, did that. And then it just catapulted, you know what I'm saying, as far as doing more movies. You know, the Cutthroat Texas was his first movie. And even though I rock with it, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people on the outside, you know what I'm saying, it was controversial. For some reason, I don't know why in Beaumont it was so controversial.
Why was it controversial?
I don't know why it was controversial. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did have a little audio problems at the beginning.
But he fixed the audio problem.
He ended up fixing the audio, but before that, I don't know why it was controversial like that. It was really like the first. Now, I had some homies, my boys, Deuce out of Gladstone. They did a movie on YouTube. That movie was dope. I forgot the name of it, but
it's called Trap Baby.
Trap Baby. They did Trap Baby. That movie was. I thought that movie was dope. But other than Trap Baby, that was really like the only movie, like, you know, that depicted like Beaumont in the North End. So, you know, I don't know why people was hating. Then you had people talking about, oh, we go do us a movie and we go do it better. Them people never did that movie. I was seeing the comments. I was seeing people talking about, oh, that movie trash. Oh, we go do us one. Let's do us one. Yeah, we go do one. We go show them how to do it. They never did it. Them people that was complaining, that was talking bad about,
because you know
never did it.
It take a lot of work to do a movie. You can't just sit up there and you can't talk about a movie and say, yeah, I'm gonna do my own movie. It's gonna be better than this. Because it's not like recording a song.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes work.
Yeah.
And that type of work, unfortunately, lot of people don't have the brain space for that type of work because it's very time consuming, very tedious, especially on the editing side.
Yes.
If you don't know nothing about that, boy, you're gonna be in for it.
Yeah.
And
it takes patience, and man, it ain't something you can just do in 2 weeks like that. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's not something you do in 2 weeks. Like you said, with the editing, getting people on, some people gotta work and you gotta work with their time and all that. So
I just want to say something to all the people out there who feel like they can make a motion picture. Pick up your phone, Google how long it takes the Hollywood major studios to create and produce a movie before it comes out, before there's a trailer for it. So you can understand the work that goes into it.
Yep.
Because some movies take years.
Yeah, the shit take like 9 months to a year or so to make it or whatever. Just don't on my Marvel people, if you're into Marvel movies, like what they coming out with another Avenger type movie or whatever, and they started filming a couple months ago, and it's not gonna be out till next year, December 2026.
Man, they got 6 to 8 months of work.
Shit, so you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. No, I'm talking about not 2020, December 2025. Next year, it's coming out the end of next.
They're gonna be working.
Yeah, they got like a year and a half of shooting and shit. So like you said,
work damn near till that movie.
Exactly. So like it take a lot to do a movie. It ain't something simple. Like I said, all them people that was talking about doing, they never did it. And that's what let me say something to the people out there. Whatever you working on or whatever, don't worry about them haters out there, man, because they always gonna say they could do something, but they won't do it. They not gonna do it. Just let them stay on the sideline and keep doing what you're doing or whatever, and focus on you, because you gonna have them each level you go up. It's gonna be some hater, somebody go saying this ain't that or that ain't this or whatever, man. You just gotta keep working on what you're working on, especially if they not in the same lane as you. If they not out there making movies and doing what you doing, man, to be honest with you, I'm not even finna accept their criticism at all. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in the same field, then if you're on the outside looking in, man, I'm appreciated. If it's good, I appreciate you. But nah, man, I'm finna just keep doing what I'm doing for sure.
I want to ask you, since you've done 5 movies already, is there a role that you have yet to play that you're looking forward to play?
Man, to be honest with you, the 4 movies I was in was on some gangster shit. Now the last movie I did was a comedy movie, Who Got the Bag. Yeah. I love that because it was on some comedy shit or whatever. But I just want, like, you know how some of these actors, you know what I'm saying, they start out doing hood movies and now you wanna expand your role and shit. I might want to be a doctor. I might want to be, you know what I'm saying, a teacher or something like that. So, I mean,
because I see what Terry is doing now. Like, he's
doing
like a series.
Yeah.
Because nobody is doing series. Everybody's doing movies.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's trying to push. I look at that as you trying to push and go in a different direction.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Terry though, because you know what I'm saying, like he got a passion for what he doing, and really he he in his own lane. So the creativity that he's doing it ain't nobody in the area that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I like what he's doing. Now, a thing for him, he got to understand, you go have haters, especially he not from Beaumont, but he putting the city on. So a lot of people not going to like that off the top. So he just got to have that mentality that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people not going to rock with him because he's doing stuff for the city that they ain't been able to do or whatever. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like his passion and his commitment for it though, for sure, on everything.
Well, we got to talk about music, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the last year, we have seen hip hop do a complete 180. I'm talking about 2 years ago. If we would have been having a conversation about hip hop, we would have probably been saying, "Yeah, it's boring, it's redundant, it's nothing." It's very few and far in between records that come out that actually mean something. Today, where we stand in 2025, that is not the case. It is totally different. The game has shifted. A lot of the stuff that was working 2 and 3 years ago is now backsliding, and don't nobody want to hear that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy for that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, how do you feel about the shift that is happening in hip hop music?
I like the shift because, like I said, man, I grew up off 90s, early 2000s, and stuff like that when people had they had their own style. They really had to have some kind of lyrical content. And I just like that, man. I was just listening to the Clips album, pulling up or whatever. I love my favorite song is the one they got with Nas on there. Nas is dope, man. To be honest with you, I don't know how Jim Jones is even trying to compare himself to Nas. I think he really trolling, to be honest with you. I think he trolling to put an album out. But to me, I'm going to say Nas, as far as rapper wise, is the East Coast. I put him number one. I put Nas number one with the King Diseases album that he was putting out. This verse he just did with the Clips, man. Like,
and he got to join the Slick Rick too. I don't
yeah,
know if you heard that, but
I ain't heard that, but I just like Nas' whole persona because he ain't never been on no rah gangs. He always been kind of smooth and chill, and his image been like that. Even with Belly, he was the smooth cat. You know what I'm saying, from the hood. He ain't never tried to be on some, you know what I'm saying, and that's his brand, and I like that. And I put Nas up there as far as if I was ranking as far as East Coast. It was Jay-Z for a while or whatever, but after thinking, you know what I'm saying, just going through like the songs that Nas has made throughout his years and his whole image, I just put him up there, dog, for sure.
Put him up there number one too. But you know that is hip hop is going to get very exciting. It's interesting that you mentioned Jigga because he is about to put out a new album.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Jay is about to put out a new album, and he's about to headline next year's Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So, and there's a talk of a tour afterwards.
Where the Super Bowl gonna be at next year, though?
I don't know.
I think it might be in Vegas. I don't know. I gotta look at it.
But I know he's headlining. You know what I'm saying? And outside of the Clips, obviously, who have a great album out right now. Is there any other albums you're looking forward to? I know you're looking forward to that Nas because I want that Nas too.
Albums that I'm looking forward to?
Yeah, that's gonna come out this year.
Man, I've been waiting on a Jadakiss album for so long, man. To be honest with you, man, I've been waiting on a Fabulous album.
I just hope Jada. I just want Jada to put out that album. That'll be like, okay, yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that classic because that's one thing he got everything else seemingly in the bag, but
I didn't like his last album he put out, Jada.
I didn't like it either.
I didn't like the last album he put out, but he on a verse. If he on somebody's song, he always kill it.
Yeah,
he always kill it.
Thing, and his albums is the reason why they're not good is because he takes 5 years or more between albums. Yeah. So because of that, he'll put out a lot of songs.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of songs.
Nah,
the Clips just showed you that. Matter of fact, the Clips and Kendrick Lamar just showed you that you can be effective under 15 songs.
Yeah, that's all we want. Like a good 12 songs from you. That's it, dog. If you can't put out 12 songs, what is you doing within a couple years? If you like, I understand, like, you know, the older artists, you don't really want to just keep dropping like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to drop maybe once a year or once every 2 years. But you mean to tell me you can't put 12 songs together within a year and a half and drop an album? Like, come on, man. Like 5 years? Like, what the hell is you doing? Like, you know, like, I think it's more easier now because, like you said, you don't have to put out a lot of songs. And if you are an established artist like them, all we need is 12 songs. Just package it right. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You can drop a King of New York or something like that. That's gonna grab a lot of attention. If Jada drop a King of New York, that's gonna get the buzzing, the bees buzzing, dog. You know, you could brand package that or whatever. But
so
you know,
just Jada and Fab.
Jada, Fab. I mean, Man, I really thought Kendrick was gonna drop a deluxe. I really want Kendrick to come out.
They
One.
saying that he is.
I
They're saying that when his tour stops, something gonna drop.
That's what
I'm thinking it's a deluxe version of.
I'm hoping he drops either a deluxe or something else, right? You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Because they said he had another album.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
He might drop another album.
Yeah. Man, I like the Snoop Dogg album Snoop put out, man.
Which one?
The latest one. Crime? Yeah, Is It a Crime? I like that, man.
Did you watch the video that he made for it? He got a video where he like make videos for damn near all the songs on there.
No, I don't think I've seen that one yet.
It's on YouTube. Check it.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Crime.
And
gonna be like, ooh.
And to be honest with you, like I listened to Exhibit album, and Exhibit has some nice songs on there too. I kind of rocked with Exhibit album.
You talking about Kingmaker?
Yeah, Exhibit. Yeah, the one he just put out. Yeah. He got some good songs on there too. He got a song with Redman and whatchamacallit from Cypress Hill.
Be Real.
Yeah, Be Real. He got some good tracks on there, man. So I really want the older artists to kind of drop because that's what I grew up on. I hope MC8 drop another album. I hope Spice One drops another album, to be honest with you. I did not like Lil Wayne's album. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I hope Juvenile drops an album. I like BG's album. He has some good songs on there. He got a song with E40 that's pretty dope.
That's something else I wanted to talk to you about because I crazy as this sound, I listened to Wayne's album and it wasn't good. I did listen to BG album and I'm listening to it and I'm hearing the content because he's talking about a lot of real stuff that's in relation to his situation as far as being locked up, being restricted and stuff like that. But I also felt like the project suffered because he had a lot of features.
Yeah.
He had a gang of features.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching this back and forth between him and Turk.
Yeah, they still going in. They still go. I just seen a interview, him and Turk got to catch a fade or something like.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Turk saying he got an album finna drop and his album better than BG. I'll give it a listen, you know what I'm saying, just to see, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Musically, if you've been listening to Turk been jamming, but he's just not. I don't know why he's not pushing the music.
I don't know what
as much as the podcast.
He ain't really pushing a podcast like that though. I remember he was doing a podcast and stuff, but I think Turk, like his image ain't really.
Cause he got some jamming ass music, bro. I heard some music and I said, damn, boy. I was like, this shit sound better than the shit you was making at Cash Money. Like,
yeah,
he was on there spitting. And I was like, okay. Let's see what this new album sound like. Okay. Yeah. Then there's, after that, they on tour. BG says that he has albums done by himself that not out yet. And he has an album with Birdman that he did. I don't think nobody want to hear that.
Yeah, nobody don't really want to hear nothing with Birdman on there, though.
The only thing I'm interested in hearing is a Hot Boy reunion with Manny Fresh.
Yeah.
Producing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something I'm interested in hearing.
I think it all depends on Wayne, though. I think Wayne is the glue. I think if Wayne said, look, man, I want a Hot Boy album, I want Manny on there, Birdman, I want the whole, they'll do it ASAP. I think that's the only thing. Because, you know, as a big as artist as Wayne is, they go listen. He got them doing tours.
Well, they got to sit down with all of themselves and figure out what label is this album going to come out under? Because now you're dealing with everybody got their own label. BG has Chopper City.
Everybody go on.
Turk has Young and Thuggish. Wayne has Young Money. Juvie has UTP, but he signed to Cash Money as an artist. So does this album come out under Cash Money, or do they work out a deal to where all these imprints will be included and everybody gets a percent? I think they would want it like that, because then that means that's a more equitable business deal for everybody involved. Everybody's imprint is involved, so it's not, just
yeah. But do you? The only thing is, like, do you think like people really want that though? You know what I'm saying? You think over all this time, over these years, you think like as far as the sales, and I know sales, we really can't go by sales, but do you think like because when Dre and Snoop dropped that album, I thought it was gonna have a more bigger impact as far as like people really like wanting that, and it seemed like when Dre and Snoop dropped that album after so long, and they did that video and all that and stuff like that, it seemed like after they did that, it was like, yeah, okay, back. And I'm thinking like, damn, dude, it's Dre and Snoop. Like,
I mean, but they didn't follow none of the trends. I love that album.
I like that album.
I thought that album was fucking classic.
I like that album.
No skips on it.
Yeah, I like that album. I'm just saying, I just thought as far as media-wise, as far as social media, that it would get put out. And I understand, hey, it's more younger people on social media than us older people. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I just missed the people that was talking about it or whatever. But, I was like, damn, dog, this Dre and Snoop, man. We might not get another fucking Dre and Snoop album. That might be the last one. Dre like 60, Snoop 50. So, hey.
I hope not, but
I really want a Dre album. I really want a Dre album, dude. That's really what I want.
A Dre album like The Chronic?
Like The Chronic. I want a Dre album, dude. I know The Chronic has Snoop and all them other cats on there. But I want I want that Dre, like, even though he had the feature artist, it was still a Dre album. And that's what
Dre needs those people to create because Dre is not a writer.
Yeah.
He got the sound and he gonna make sure that shit sound good. But
yeah.
And to me, if you ask me, he got the best of the best.
Oh, he got
everything at his motherfucking disposal.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
All he gotta do is say, hey, Snoop.
Yeah.
Eminem.
Yep. 50.
Kendrick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but them three names right there alone. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and on top of whoever else you might add to the equation. Yeah. But that's music. I want to ask you about the climate in Beaumont because I hear about the news. I hear about all the stuff that go on out here. And I said, boy, this motherfucker is like Chicago, baby Chicago.
Like, it is like a baby Chicago.
We on the borderline of being Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, if the population was like it was, yes, it would be just like Chicago for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah. What do you feel about the climate involved?
Like, what kind of climate? Like, what do you mean by climate?
I mean, like how hostile and violent it is. That's what I mean. Not the weather. I'm talking about how crazy it is out here.
You know what? It's crazy because I didn't see about 3-4 different fights from women today only. Just Facebook Live and all that. It's been a fight over here. It's been a fight over there. Fight over there. The climate is crazy, bro. Like, man, it's so much anger built up. And to be honest with you, man, look, and people might not want to say this. They might not want to say that, but when you stressing, when you frustrated, when shit not going your way, then you go get out, you go fight, you go do all that. Because to be honest with you, if you got a lot of shit going on for yourself, and you're not trying to fight, you're not trying to blow your money, you're not trying to be involved in that negativity and stuff. But the climate is just bad, man, because it's young women. And it's old women out there that's fighting and, the shooting and all that. One thing I do say, the women, they fighting. The guys, they not fighting. They shooting and doing all this. It don't matter where it's at. It could be at a restaurant or whatever. It's just, it's really a bad look, man. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you, because I know we better than that as people. And I know how other races look at us. And I wish we could all do better, man, and change our mindset. But everybody can't go to the top. Everybody can't go to that next level. Everybody do not grow. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, they do not grow. And it's a shame, man. And some people gonna have to get left behind. And motherfuckers gonna get left behind.
It's crazy.
It's crazy though. But like you said, it is like Chicago because you never know. shit, you never know. You could be a bystander, somebody. But that's like that in a lot of cities and shit. But as far as Beaumont, for our population, when you look up top 50 dangerous cities in America, we like 45. You know what I'm saying? We like 44 or something like that. And that's in America. You know what I'm saying? I could see if like, it was like just in the South because but that's in America. And we talking about Beaumont because it's a lot of cities out there, what I'm saying, that's big and got crime and stuff like that. And it's like, damn, Beaumont up there? Like,
I mean, we done had the baddest of the bad go down out here, man. I mean, yeah. Even me, I had to check myself. I'm like, be honest with you, man. I used to sell drugs and gang bang, and I did that without a gun.
Yeah, I know, dog. Yeah,
without a gun.
Yeah, I know.
And today, all I do is make music and create content, and I gotta walk around with a gun everywhere I go.
Yeah, damn.
And I be asking myself, like,
that's wild.
Do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a violent person. I don't wake up angry trying to hurt somebody. So a lot of times I'll be having to say, man, you're not a violent person. Why do you have to walk with this every day? And I have to do that because of the climate. Because I don't know what the next motherfucker thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't really because I have a problem. I don't have a problem with nobody, truthfully.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. But don't want to be caught in those situations. Don't want to be victimized. Don't want to be put in a situation. So I carry this for my protection.
For sure. You have to. And you have to, man. Because like you said, you never know. You might be having a great day. That next guy might be going through something. He might need some bread, you know what I'm saying? And or some money, and bills might be due or whatever. So you never know what the next man going through. But it's crazy, like you said, man, how we used to gang bang and sell weed and drugs in the hood, and we didn't even have no straps and stuff like that. Yeah. But now like you said, you just try to do music or make content or do podcasts or shoot movies, and you gotta have a gun and all that shit with you nowadays, man. Like I mean, the rabbit hole can go deep how I progressed and got to that level. But
oh, I know how I got to that level. This is something that I've been wanting to ask you, and I'm glad I get to ask you this now. I know that due to your podcast, you have a lot of alliances with a lot of political figures within Beaumont. Does this topic of conversation come up when you're talking to them? And if so, what? Because I know if you talk about how bad it is, somewhere along the lines got to be some type of solution. Yeah, because that's what people are looking for, the solution.
That's why I fuck with your platform, because the questions you asked and shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as because that's a great fucking question. And I do have those conversations. And I do get that, hey, can you call me? I want to ask you about something, because they can't post how they feel on social media because, the scrutiny and how people might react. So I do get that question, you know what I'm saying? I got that question like a couple weeks ago. A guy, he said, hey, man, can you call me? I want to ask you something. I said, okay, all right. I called him. It was actually a couple Sundays ago. And he said, man, I forgot what happened. I think somebody got shot or something. I made a comment about it. He was like, man, I hate to see like people go through that, man. And he said, I don't care if you're black, white, and all that. And he said, man, what do you think? How can we stop this? How can we stop hurting each other? And he said, I want to make a comment, but man, I'm a white guy and I don't want, people like, saying I'm just saying this for this or whatever, because, I'm a political figure and all that. And I was like, man, we had a conversation for about an hour, and I told him, like, hey man, it's just the mindset of people. It's like people need jobs out there. People struggling, people are frustrated, and people don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? They was raised a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard to turn off on that. Once you locked in, you know what I'm saying? It's only by the grace of God that you get the growth and wisdom to be like, man, I can't do this no more. And everybody don't get that chance, And so we had a good conversation about it. And a lot of people out there, they do care. And they do care what's going on in the communities, but they don't want to get scrutinized for like being fake about it. Like they don't want to go on social media and saying, "Hey, we need to stop the violence," because a lot of people they don't know how to handle accountability. So they gonna be like, "Oh, F you, you don't know what's going on. You ain't never have to," you know what I'm saying? They don't want to go through all that and shit like that. But I do have those conversations, and sometimes they hard. You know what I'm saying? Because usually when I have the conversations, it's between like it's like me and you, it's our people. You know what I'm saying? When you having it with like a judge or a lawyer or even the mayor that didn't grow up how you grow up, it's a different conversation that you having and stuff like that, which needs to happen more. But you know, I guess one day we'll get there for sure though. But that's a good question though. Nobody never asked me that, man. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it because I was like, damn, he got a lot of ties to, you know, people in Beaumont who are in position to do things. And I'll be like, I wonder if they ever talk about all this wild stuff that go on out here and how to, because believe it or not, it's just not a talk that you and political figures done had. It's talk that people on the streets done had too. Like I had a conversation that happened a couple of years ago that still blows my mind when I think about it. It actually makes me sad because the person who I was having this conversation with, he passed away. But the guy was from South Park. I'm not gonna say his name, but we having a conversation, and he said to me, he said, "Man, you know what'll be the best shit ever?" And I was like, "What?" He said, "Man, how about 60s, Bloods, and Hoovers all made peace?" He's like, "You know who that would scare the shit out of?" And I'm looking at him, I said, shit, the laws, the politicians, the powers that be, the government, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was to happen. And me and him sitting here having this conversation. And I'm like, wow. Like, because for one, the day I was having, I wasn't expecting to have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Usually you don't expect that conversation when it happens like that, for sure.
And then he was just like, yeah, that would be some of the dopest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? That would mean like, you know, he meant like from a generational standpoint, if the OGs done that and the young saw that, then they would chill out as well as a reaction, because once you see that, oh word, this was everybody cool? Oh, okay, well, that mean I can be cool.
Yeah.
And then everybody cool and nobody tripping.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But at one time that would have worked. Mind you, this conversation happened years ago. It's different now. It's not so much about red and blue anymore.
Yeah.
It's just about youngsters who don't have nothing to do, no opportunity, feel like they don't have nothing to live for. So they just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And some of us older people have been in that state before.
Yeah.
We were fortunate. Some of us were fortunate enough to make it out.
Yeah.
If the young were willing to listen and the older were willing to teach and tell them things that could benefit them, that's one way of helping the situation. Because with no guidance, you're reckless.
Yeah, without no guidance, when you going through high school and then you get out of high school and, you know what I'm saying, you don't have that male figure. I'm not saying just father figure. I'm talking about the male figure, like an uncle or a big cousin or something that you could respect and get that, you know what I'm saying, get that guidance from. Then you out there just really kind of just reckless, just going through the motion, man. This chick on Facebook was saying something about her kid, like he can't act right. You know what I'm saying? She was like, she doing all she can, and you know what I'm saying, it's frustrating to her. And then I'm seeing a lot of moms, a lot of women on there saying the same thing, agreeing with her or whatever. And then I'm just looking at the comments and I'm thinking like, man, why hasn't any men said anything about that? And so I said, look, to be honest with you, he needs a male influence. You got, if his dad ain't involved, you got to get his uncle, you got to get his cousin or somebody, grandpa or somebody that this young kid can respect. Because at a certain point, them ass whoopings he ain't gonna feel them. You can't whoop a 14, 15-year-old teenage boy. He ain't gonna feel that no more.
Right.
You know, he don't fear mom no more or whatever. He still respect you, but man, he out there doing his thing and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just the mindset. Like you said, some people unfortunately don't have that guidance, man. And then, you know, a lot of shit happened. And that's why you see a lot of teens out here committing murders and going to jail and getting 40, 50 years, 17, 18 years old and stuff like that. And they got to understand, man, once you go to jail, bro, your homies ain't finna be sending you no commissary. They not finna send you pics and all that. You know, they not gonna be answering that phone when you call or whatever and be like, inmate such and such or whatever. Man, they not finna be taking the time. It might be one or two that's gonna do that, but if you've been hanging around 14, 15 cats and y'all call yourself a clique and you get locked up for however long it may be, man, only one or two of them gonna come through. Because that happened with a couple partners of mine. I had a partner, he did 10 years in the feds, and we had us a strong little clique in the hood or whatever. When he got locked up, man, it was me and maybe one other person that was sending them pictures and talking to them and going and visit. The other cats, nah, they ain't even hit the homie up. But best believe when the homie got out, best believe they reached out to him then they wanted to reach out to him and all that. So, but he understood what was real and what wasn't. So, but
yeah, that's the thing about getting locked up. When you get locked up, ain't nobody doing their time with you but your mama.
Exactly, real
that's
talk.
That's it. If you got a girl that love you, she'll do that time with you too. You know what I'm saying? But the dudes, the people you knew, the people you ran with, nah, they leaving first.
Yeah. I remember my brother, he did 5 in the feds. He told me something real. He said, man, I can't worry about what's going on out there. He said, I can't worry about my gal. I can't worry about, you know what I'm saying, I can't really worry about what's going on out there. I can't let that affect me up in here. And now I thought that was some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he ended up doing time. He can't be out worrying about if his girl doing this. He can't be worrying about, you know what I'm saying, if our cousin ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't putting money on the books like he said. He can't be worried about that. He got to worry about what's going on in him. And a lot of cats, they get in there, dog, and they worrying about everything on the outside, what's going on, you know, and shit different, dog. So.
Well, I want to ask you something about marriage and the importance of family. In this space that we are both in as far as podcasting and content creation, it's not really talked about as it should be. The importance of marriage and family. If you could speak from that because you're married.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the importance of marriage and family from your perspective?
Man, my dad showed me the importance of family. My dad just working, just providing for all 5, 2 of my brothers, 2 of my sisters, and me. So I kind of got that from him. You know what I'm saying? I got that from, you know how people be saying, man, your kids watch you. Regardless of if you're not paying attention or not, your kids watching. I was watching my dad, and I understood from a young age how he was, you know what I'm saying, providing for us, working, coming home. He wasn't going to hang out with his homies or whatever at the time and shit like that. So I got that foundation from him. Now, as far as like wife or something, like my wife and a woman, from the one thing that I loved about it, man, was, you know what I'm saying, just having my back, just, you know, just being supportive. You got to have a woman that's going to support you regardless. She supported me through everything. She supported me when I didn't have any, well, I ain't going to say didn't have any money or whatever, but when we was, you know what I'm saying, struggling and coming up together, she was down. She was supporting or whatever. It's always been a team effort with her and stuff like that. So when I wanted to get into podcasting, she supported it. You know, when I wanted to get into golfing or whatever, she's like, yeah, you need to do something or whatever. She supported that, you know. And now I'm gardening, I'm doing all that. She support that. So she just somebody who she just supports me, man. And that's what I love about it. But, you know, the game out there, the game from the outside looking in, it just seemed like lot of bad shit out there, dog, for real. And like we said earlier,
it is bad.
I didn't see like 4 or 5 different fights on Facebook with females fighting. And what kind of guy want to be with a female that's out there fighting and doing all that? You're not trying to spend the rest of your life with somebody out there that's fighting and cussing and doing all this and acting more manly than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not trying to come home to that, bro. Like, for real. Like, I'm not trying to come home and argue, and you might try to fight me. Like, come on, get back to the. I ain't gonna say you gotta be soft, but man, get back to being feminine, man, and you know. But like I said, from the outside looking in, man, the game look, and I ain't trying to be out there. I'm not trying to be out there like that. So I was just blessed to meet her at a young age, and we just grew together, you know. So I think that was a lucky thing about us. Like, we found each other young, and we just grew together. We went through life together and stuff. Like I said, support. She supported me when I went back to school. I told her, I was like, I want a better living for us. I said, where I'm working at, I can't get it. And I was like, I think I'm gonna have to go back to college. And she was like, if you want to go back to college, then hey. She's like, do it or whatever. So she was with me when I went go register classes and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? She low key, she out the way. She chill, and that's one thing that I liked about her. She wasn't all aggressive and rah and all that type of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta find somebody that fit you and match you. And a lot of people don't find it. They just see that a fucking female fine and try to get with it and shit. And then you find out that she want to go to the club every fucking weekend and shit. She don't like to cook or nothing like that. You go to the house and shit, she got clothes out on the couch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, man, you fine, but shit, you don't do nothing, you know? And you probably got her pregnant now or some shit or whatever, and now you kind of stuck in the game or whatever. So we just got to think smarter, and we got to realize what we want, even though that motherfucker might be fine. And that's going for the women too. Even though this dude might be fine and shit, you got to fucking read the details on the person. You got to see if this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, is somebody you want to be with for if the rest of the life, if you want that or whatever. But man, like
do you think it will ever turn around? As
man,
far as get better, or is it just gonna get worse?
Nope, I don't think it's gonna turn around. I think once that, it's like a little dam and shit. Once that peephole, once that water start going through that peephole and shit, you might patch it up and then another one go pop out and shit like that. So I think the powers that be, people that's really over this, because you see it on TV, you see reality shows, dog, and you see black people, they fighting, they cussing. All reality TV is, all they doing is yelling and screaming at each other. Even the successful shows, I think they got Married to Medicine, where it's doctors and lawyers, and they married, and they all on the show fighting and arguing with each other. So I think the powers that be don't want it to be like that. They don't want it to be how it was back in the 70s when you had a strong black family. And you know what what's that show? Power? No, BMF. Mm-hmm. I seen a scene. I don't watch it, but I seen a scene. I was watching it with my wife. And old girl, the daddy and the mom, she said, hey, you gotta leave because you know he had got hurt. The money wasn't coming in. And I said, damn, why she kicking him out like that? She was like, well, she ain't gonna be able to get assistance and SNAPs benefits because he's still living there. So she kicking him out. I say, damn. I say that's how the government is. They don't want the black family together like that. If that female's struggling, then you better struggle by yourself. You can get everything. We'll give you all these SNAP benefits, but that dude, he gotta be gone. That baby dad that you still love, what you gonna choose? You gonna choose the love or you gonna choose these benefits? And most of the times, motherfuckers be like, fuck love, because I can do this by myself. Now you got this black independent woman or whatever, but she really not independent. She's government dependent. And she just kicked this man out or whatever. So, and now you got a lot of females raising these sons and with no male influence, dog. So like I said, it goes deep, but the powers that be, man, unless you got somebody up there wrecking shop and shit, trying to destroy the infrastructure and all that, I don't see it. And now the powers that be, they'll take out your whole family if they wanted to, dog. Shit can get wicked. The shit can get wicked, dog. So unless you want really to risk your life, and a lot of people not willing to risk their life to break down that infrastructure like that. So
Yeah, everything you saying is truthful, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask you about your future endeavors. Like, do you have any plans for the future that you plan to? You know what I'm saying? Anything new?
I'm not gonna tell anybody what you got going on, but being up in him, we thinking alike. That's why I really fuck with you, because we think alike. And what you working on, as far as this right here, all that, I'm working on that same thing. So I'm just gotta work out some kinks because I don't got the equipment how I wanted to have it and shit. But I'm just working out some kinks, and hopefully I can get that established or whatever. But as far as podcasting, I still podcast, but I don't. It's not podcasting. It's more streaming. I'm more into streaming now, and that's just why I think I'm always do that because I'm just passionate about that. But you know what I'm saying, man, just trying to I'm just trying to grow mentally and shit like that, man. I'm more into peace, man. So a lot of stuff that I do now is just peace. It ain't no negativity. It's just out the way, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just better for me that way. So
and that's cool, man. I mean, I see what you got going, and I'll be like, yeah, it's just I guess we live in a crock pot of chaos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I have to, even me, good shit be happening to me, and I be wanting to jump on social media and be like, yeah, but I got to realize these angry, pissed off people, they are not going to accept good news good.
No, man.
They are going to take it and they're going to turn it to shit.
Yeah.
And they're going to use it against you. So you got to suppress your good news.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you do, and I say, shit, you can't really suppress that. I mean, shit, you live your life.
I'm just living.
You know what I'm saying?
The motherfuckers they be like, somebody hit me and say, man, I like your content where you be. I say, bro, that to me, it ain't no content. It's just what the fuck it is. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, it's just me. It's just me normally doing, it's just me being me, bro. Like I say, I'm not trying to copy nobody. I'm not trying to do none of that shit. Cause if you see my shit, you'll know that he's not copying nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can't think of nobody that's, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's not really content. It's just me just living my fucking life. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm playing golf or whatever, it's just me playing golf. I post some clips and shit like that or whatever. And stuff like that. I play golf. I like golf and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Ain't too many niggas out there playing golf. So I guess that's why
it's different. Into playing golf?
Man, my grandfather used to play golf. We used to go to his house. I ain't gonna lie, it's boring as fuck going to his house because he'll have golf on. He have a fucking 100 trophies up there that he won or whatever, and he'll have golf on. And we have to sit there for like 4 or 5 hours with my parents, and they talking, and we gotta watch golf and shit or whatever. So that kind of gave me the bug. But then, Tiger Woods, he kind of made it more popular. And then as I got older, I started meeting people as far as playing. And I was like, man, I thought about playing and shit. So it took me about I talked about it for a good 6-7 years. And finally, I got some clubs and shit. And I had some people that wanted to play. And so I got into it and it got addictive. It got, you know what I'm saying? When I do something, I want to get better at it. And like when podcasting, when I started, I wanted to get better at it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to keep practicing until it got comfortable. And that's how I am with golf, man. I just like playing it. And I meet a lot of motherfuckers out there. When they see a black person out there, shit, they immediately trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. They could be in a whole nother group and shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll be coming up to me or whatever. They'll be watching or whatever. And I ain't all that good yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm decent. I'm getting there. I'm practicing every day. But I have motherfuckers be like, hey, man, I seen you hit that shot. I'm like, and the buddies I'm playing with, he say, what he tell you? I'm saying, no, he ain't say, he just see me hit the shot. He thought it was a good shot or whatever and shit. But, golfing, and it's peaceful. You don't have to, like I said, I'm in my peace mode. So I could go out there and play by myself. I don't need nobody to play with. I go there, play by myself, have me a little drink, sip, chill, think of some ideas, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and play and be creative like that. So that's what got into it. That's why I got into it. Just like gardening, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and what made you get into gardening?
I don't really know how the fuck I got into gardening.
You know, people from certain people from the streets,
yeah,
from the hood,
I don't
gardening.
Know. I don't know how the fuck I got into gardening, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't something I can just make up. I just started talking about it. Now, sometimes you see like videos and shit pop up on your whatever, and I'll be like, that shit look kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or whatever. And then I talked about it one day, and then somebody was like, shit, I'll build you a crate or whatever if you that serious. And I was like, shit, yo, build me a crate or whatever. So they built me a crate. You know what I'm saying? They told me what to do. Started planting some shit or whatever, and seeing it start growing. I'm in the early stages or whatever, but I'm seeing it starting to grow and shit. And it's, you know, I got my daughter out there. My daughter can get into it. She into it or whatever. So I think it's dope growing my own shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've been posting videos of growing my own shit, and people been liking it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I be chill. I be having a good time. I be out there dancing and shit or whatever. And I just post a video.
I think the most important thing out of all this for anybody watching, looking, paying attention is, you know, it don't matter where you from, man. If you put your mind to anything, you can do it. This man that's sitting in front of the camera has podcasted, starred in 5 movies, have relationships with politicians, gardening, golf, family man, married man, a music fan.
Yep.
It's really no limit to what you could do. So, you know, whatever, I'm going to be tuned in to whatever you got going on next, because shit, you never know what it's going to be.
Shit, I might start a garden series because I've been looking at the numbers. I've been looking at my numbers. You got to pay attention to your numbers and work for you. You know what I'm saying? If y'all creating content, and them numbers been crazy. I might start doing something. I start getting good at this. I might start shit. My Miracle Grow, they gonna have to start hollering at me because I'm gonna want some endorsements or something like that. But like I said, man, you never know. Like you never know in life, because like we was talking about earlier, man, a 21-year-old Floyd would be like, if somebody said, bro, at 44, you gonna be into golf and you gonna be gardening and doing all. I'll be like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm be like, man, I don't want that. I'll be like, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But when you go through life and shit, man, you start going through different avenues. You start meeting people that grew up different from how you grew up. And that's how you grow, dog, when you hang around people and you get different perspectives and shit or whatever. And that's how my life always been. Because when I went to college and shit, I wasn't really thinking about it like that. I started hanging around a couple guys I was working with, and they was going to college and shit. And one of the guys hit me and he was like, man, you want to do this forever? I was like, nah, hell nah. He said, man, why you don't just go back to college? And I was like, shit, I don't know. Or whatever. And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking like, man, I don't want to be here. What I'm going to do and shit. So I was like, shit, might as well go back to college or something. I ain't doing nothing else or whatever. So I went back to that. And what I went for, I ended up transitioning into something else or whatever. But you just got to surround yourself around the right people, man, to broaden your horizon and shit. Because if you hang around gangbangers and shit, all you gonna know is gangbanging. If you grow up around or hang around people that rob, that's all you gonna do is rob and shit. Because if you're gonna want to think something different, they're gonna be like, oh, get the fuck away then or whatever. So you just gotta put yourself around the right people, man, where you could grow, and then you can expand through different avenues, and you be like, damn, how the fuck I end up right here? And so that's how I am right now. That's how I'm doing different shit. Like you said, from movies to podcasting to meeting different people and politicians and shit to golfing to gardening and shit, man, it's crazy. I never thought about it till you brought that shit up, though. That's why I like this platform, though.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it in totality. I'm looking at it because I'm you know, I get the chance to watch the show kind of close up and personal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
Do. Yeah.
And I get to see it. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, word, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, out here is not much to pay attention to in from an educational point or from inspirational point.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So because it's not a lot of good out here.
No,
you know what I'm
it
saying?
ain't really.
So when you see something good or when you see something that's different from the normal, which you always see, you know, because I don't know nothing about golf. I don't know nothing about gardening. So that's like a whole nother world for me because I don't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was like that too. I mean, when I first got into it, as far as golfing last year, I didn't know. I mean, I watched it and shit, but when you get into it, then you learn so much the technical shit, like the details. When you focus on the details of it, it's a lot of fucking details to focus on. So I didn't, you know, I went out there just raw dogging it and shit, pause or whatever. If they say that, I don't know what the fuck. But I went out there with a group of friends with no practice, nothing. And you know what I'm saying? They showed me how to swing and all that kind of shit. And then, you know what I'm saying? I started watching videos and started learning what I needed to do to get better and shit. And eventually they stopped wanting to go. They you know, started making excuses why they couldn't go. And I started going by myself. Then I started buying other shit where I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need anybody. I got me a net at the house and all that. So, and just like with gardening and stuff, like I'm fairly new, but there's a couple of women, older women that I know, and they got gardens and they've been successful and they've been giving me tips and all that. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm into that shit, you know, but a thing that I learned as far as gardening is grow shit that you like. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like cucumbers or broccoli, don't grow that shit because you're not going to pay attention. You don't really care. You know?
Right.
You know, if you like onions and potatoes or whatever the hell it is, then you grow that. Because then you go check on it, you're going to see if it's doing what it's doing or whatever. So, you know, like I said, and plus like the norm, man, I don't like to be like everybody else, man. I might start taking piano lessons and shit next. I don't know. I don't think I am, but you know, I like to expand my horizon and shit. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to do that norm. I think I did that norm and follow the crowd shit when I was young in high school and when I graduated. That's how I got into gangs and doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm done with that because when you follow the crowd, you really can't be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're really hiding from being yourself. And I think when you stand alone, I think Tupac said, being alone make you strong. I think Pac said that in a lyric and shit like that. And that shit stuck with me. Being alone make you strong, man. You know, you get to be yourself and you get to understand yourself and shit like that. So, and I knew that when I was young because, like I said, when we was in gangs and fighting and shit, I knew a lot of guys that was hiding behind gangs and shit because the numbers was in their favor. But you catch these guys by themselves and shit, all that rah shit by themselves, they not even the same type of cat. You know what I'm saying? They attitude change. And there was a lot of cats that I grew up with and I was just looking at and I was like, damn, bro, when you by yourself, shit, you ain't even the same cat. But when you with these 10, 15 other guys, shit, you one of the most gangster motherfuckers I know. But when you by yourself and shit, man, that energy ain't the same, man. And there was a lot of cats that was hiding behind that because, you know what I'm saying, it could, like being alone, it can either make you weak or it can make you strong and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's how it is for me.
That's real. My last question, man. Any words of wisdom or words of inspiration for anyone?
Yeah, man. Just focus on yourself, man. Just focus on what you got going and be patient with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush it. Just be patient, man. If you believe in yourself, shit, you can do it. Just and put yourself around the right people, man, or whatever. Like, that's all I can say. I mean, it might start slow, but you know what I'm saying? You just gotta just be committed. Just be committed to the process. You know what I'm saying? So, and stop biting people out there, man. Y'all gotta stop biting people, man. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all biting people shit, man. Be creative. Be original, man. If it might take you long, if it might take you months to be original to think of an idea, then let that process develop. But you copying somebody else shit, Nah, because that person you copying, they go transition to something else, and then what you gonna do? You go have to copy that shit too now. Now you just waiting for them to change and switch up so you can do the same shit. And you see that throughout social media. Yeah. Motherfuckers just waiting for somebody to do something different so they could copy it and shit. So,
man, I appreciate you coming to holler at me. We done had a great conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It seems like every time we get together, we have a great
yeah, no doubt.
I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm gonna say this. I'm looking forward to our next conversation because I know what that's gonna be about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say no more about it. But I appreciate you coming through, Mr. North End Floyd.
Yeah, man.
As always, you know what I'm saying, respect and love and shit. Be on the lookout for what he has next.
Yeah, real talk, dog. Pay attention. Shit.